Pope Francis heads to Colombia for 5 days to help heal the wounds of Latin America's longest-running armed conflict. It's between leftist rebel groups known as the FARC and the government, who are trying to make peace after decades of violence and rebellion. The Holy Father is encouraging ordinary Colombians to balance their need for justice with forgiveness. The Pope left Rome early this morning on the papal plane, which had to change its flight path to avoid Hurricane Irma. Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register, joins us. Welcome, Ed. What are the main purposes of this visit?
Well, Lauren, as the Pope said on the flight over to Colombia today, he said his main task is really to help Colombia in its path to peace. He really wants to bring together the parties involved in this conflict, which are bitterly divided over the terms of a peace agreement. And that's really the key message he wants to get across is, let's make a first step. That's the theme of the trip. And he wants both sides to recognize the hurts on either side and to seek forgiveness.
Walk us through the highlights of this trip.
Well, he's visiting 4 cities, and he's really keen to meet, obviously, the civil and political leaders who are involved in this peace process. He'll also meet regional and national church leaders, but also he's going to beatify 2 priests who were martyred during the 50 years of conflict. They were 2, of course, who died of the 260,000 who died during those years of conflict. And he'll also visit the Church of St. Peter Claver, who was the patron saint of slaves.
You know, the Pope is visiting yet another place of conflict. We've been following Venezuela's uprising. Is this a trend? Is the Pope going to places that are in conflict?
This does seem to be the trend, Lauren, yes, because 5 of the last 9 overseas trips that he's made have been to places of conflict. And although that's obviously not the sole purpose of his visits, that does seem to be something that he's very keen to do, is to be a global peacemaker with the assistance of his Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. And of course, his next trip after this will be to Burma, which is also a place of conflict, an internal conflict which has been going on for many years.
Thank you so much for your insights, Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register.
Thanks, Lauren.